We get some fish. Oh no, Kitty, you're gonna drown. No, you're gonna die. No. Oh no, no, not you too. No, follow me. Oh, for crying out loud. Oh, this has been a tragedy.
It's Minecraft. Now what? Let's go.
Shadows get long at the end of the day. Look at that sunset. Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. Now what? That's right, Mickey. The sun rises on a new update. This is the Chase the Skies update. Look at that. We've got cool lighting. We've got shadows. I didn't like it at first, but I'm coming around to it. Look at that haze in the distance. It really makes it atmospheric. Oh, look at that water. The shadows on the water. Let's see how's it look when we get in here. Oh, that's pretty cool. Do you like it? Yeah. They don't appreciate anything. Well, that is pretty cool. Makes it a little easier to come back over here. If you remember, last time we were over here, thanks a lot, Rain. Really helping the mood, remembering what happened last episode. We lost 2 members of the family because I brought them on a family trip to see the dock. Nameless Kitty and Baby Knick-Knack drowned underneath the pier. So first thing we're going to do today is we are going to make them a couple headstones over here so we never forget them. So let's take care of that. We'll put our bed over here, free up that spot in the inventory, and where do we want this? Maybe right here, overlooking. Get rid of this so that tree doesn't grow in. I'll replant this tree right there and come back over here. Back this up a little bit. So I was thinking maybe using a little pale oak and cobblestone to make some headstone markers. So let's see how that turns out. So come in here and get our logs. We're going to need the shovel. So we will make that one, and then we'll put the other one there. Yeah, let's just see how that goes. We'll do both of these at the same time. So it was very sad, tragic unfolding of events. So we all came down to check out the pier, and things just spiraled out of control pretty quickly. Finally, the rain stops. Just needed to sleep through the night. So we have our cobblestone base and pale oak trim. Got some path block around. Look at that sunset coming up. So we'll come up here and do that. Do that. And then so it stands out a little bit. So we'll come over here and memory of Baby Knick-Knack. Memory of Nameless Kitty. There we go. Just nice and simple. Once we get our iron farm going and we have some iron to spare, we'll come back over here and hang some lanterns from the posts. I think maybe what I'll do here, since I brought the slabs, maybe do that. Every time we come over to the haunted pier, we'll look up, and they'll be watching over us. If I don't fix it now, it's going to drive me crazy. There we go. So as we head back over to the base, talk about the next project we're going to be working on, which is the iron farm. Now, I haven't typically gotten into doing farms like that because of the work involved, and usually it's been easier to suffer through getting iron as I was going along, and really by the time I would be ready to take on a project like that, I had more iron than I knew what to do with. But we're going to take it on now. Just because I'm willing to torture myself by not building an iron farm doesn't mean you have to, so we'll make getting that iron a little bit easier for you. So we have 13 already. Right, you know what, we're going to go back, we're going to go get some more, unless I have a bunch of sand. I don't have any sand. So we're back at the base, And it turns out I did have extra glass, so we didn't really need to go down to get more sand. But depending on how I detail the iron farm, I might need more glass. And you never know when you might need glass for another build anyway. So I have a stack of sand smelting away in a furnace. We gathered the rest of our materials that we're going to need to build the iron farm, and I'll show you those once we pick our location. So the most important consideration we have right now to decide is we need to be 100 blocks away from a bed and a workstation and away from that village. So I was initially thinking of doing it on that side of the village, but the other consideration you have is we're going to need to move villagers to the iron farm once we're done. So actually, now I'm thinking of bringing them over here and doing the iron farm down there. That'll be closer to the river. It seems we're spending a lot of time down over that way anyway. If we have to go back to the Pale Garden, we have to go down there. Once I built this path down there, there's some caves, and there's that mountain, that Cherry Blossom Mountain over there that has that deep cavern in it that I wanted to go explore. So it might make a lot of sense to build the iron farm down there. And it won't be easy, but lots of times moving villagers isn't really easy. But if we do it right and we do it smart, that kind of looks all downhill. So it'll definitely be a little getting them over there, but I think it'll be doable. So we'll just take a nap before we head down there and start getting busy. It's a brand new day. So we turn the coordinates on to make sure we are going to be 100 blocks away. The X is what we're going to keep an eye on. So I think we're going to be good. We have to get to at least minus 100. So we'll come over here, and this is nice and flat. Well, this looks like a good spot. This is over where we found Mr. Knickknock, right over there. So yeah, this is far enough away from the base, but what I should do is check to make sure that this is far enough away from the pier, which I think it is, but we're just going to double check that real quick. Oh yeah, that's plenty. So now that we've picked out our site for the iron farm, and we've verified that not only is it far enough away from our river build, it's far enough away from our main base, so we're good to go. I dropped down a crafting table and a stone cutter and an extra chest that has the materials that we're going to need for this iron farm. I've decided to go for one that is dug into the ground that'll use fewer blocks than to do one that is above ground, just because I think it might be a little easier to get it done quicker, but we'll see. So as far as the materials go, we are going to need solid blocks. You can choose what blocks you want to use. We're going to use some andesite. I would prefer to use stone brick, but then I would have to smelt down cobblestone to get the stone and then get the stone brick. So we're just going to make it a little easier on ourselves, and we've got plenty of andesite from our mines. So we'll use andesite and cobblestone. We are going to make our villagers into Fletchers. So we need 20 villagers, so we need 20 workstations, and we have 20 fletching tables. We're going to need 10 signs that we're going to put the lava on top of. We need a bucket of water that we're going to use to push the iron golems into the lava, a chest and a hopper for the collection system, and we need 20 beds. So here's the wool and the planks for the beds. We don't really need too much glass. It's nice to have a viewing wall that you can see into the iron golem chamber, and I like to put some glass into the villager chamber just to keep an eye on them. And then we're going to use this boat later to bring the villagers over. And finally, you're going to need some non-spawnable blocks. I'm choosing to go with slabs. The tutorial that I used as inspiration was by JC Plays. I'll leave the link in the description. So let's get started. So first thing we want to do is we are going to be making a 7x7 hole in the ground. So you'll kind of want to decide where the front of your farm is going to be. And I actually think if we're coming from the base, might come down here and want to come here. So we'll start over here. So we'll take out this block, and then we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So build out 7 blocks, and then we're going to go 6 in this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then finish out your square. Okay. So what I'm going to do real quick here is mark that as our center point. That'll come in later. So now then, what do we want to do is go down 6 blocks from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4. And we're going to do this a little smarter now because you're not supposed to dig straight down. So that's 4, 5, 6. So now we're 6 down. So now what you want to do is dig this entire hole out 7 by 7 and 6 blocks deep. We'll time lapse do that, and I'll see you on the other side. So this is what your pit should look like. 7 by 7 and 6 blocks deep. Now this next part you don't have to do, but I'm going to go back down there and switch out all those blocks, just to have it look a little bit nicer. So here we are in the pit, and as you can see, I've swapped out all the dirt for cobblestone, just because, but you don't have to do that. Now we went ahead and made our 20 beds, so we're going to put those down. So we'll start on this one edge here, put 7 beds on that edge, and then come over here and put these 3 like this, turn, and so really we're going to have these 3 beds here, but when we bring the villagers, I'm going to break these beds to help us get the villagers in here a little easier. So you should have yourself surrounded by a ring of beds with a 3 by 3 space of blocks in the middle. And actually, what we don't want happening down here are iron golems spawning, so we will make those unspawnable. It looks pretty cool. So that now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and remove these 2 blocks, remove these 6 blocks, and remove these 6 blocks, and remove these 6 blocks. And what we're going to do here is we're going to put in our fletching tables. 2 there, 6 there, 6 here, and the other 6 there. Now, fletching tables are good for this because they're not usable workstations by us. I'm trying to interact with it and open it, and it doesn't let the player use it, but the villagers can take their job. They're pretty cheap to make, so it's a good workstation for farms like this. And the rain. It rains in the iron farm. And if you plan ahead and you're interested, you could actually build this in a way where you can trade with the Fletchers. They take sticks for emeralds. So now what we're going to do is count up 2 blocks from the fletching table. 1, 2. And we're going to build a platform out. So again, you don't need to make this look nice if you don't want to. It's not required. Got a little dark on us. Make sure the coast is clear. We don't want you-know-who jumping down here on top of us. So we're going to drop another torch here, here, and here. Make sure it's nice nice and lit. It's not going to be a problem. And then finish building this platform out. And there you go. This will be the villager's chamber. So now the next step is build a ring around this pit. There we go. So the villager chamber is done. We have our top platform done, and now we have our ring around the pit. And this is where the non-spawnable blocks come in, because now we're going to line the top of this wall with non-spawnable blocks to prevent iron golems from spawning up here. We want to keep the iron golems spawning inside the chamber. So for this, we're going to use slabs. So these end caps, again, are not necessary. I'm just trying to make it a little bit more interesting to look at when I come over here. But you can, of course, just line the entire top with slabs or leaf blocks or glass if you choose to. Now, since these are on the bottom half of the full block, the slabs are on the bottom half of the full block, mobs are not going to spawn on top here. So the iron golem, we won't have to worry about the iron golem spawning on there. We won't have to worry about anything else spawning on there. But this end block will. So to prevent that, we just put a slab on top of that. So again, not necessary. So this will be what the top of your farm looks like. So now we'll come over here to where you made the front of your farm to be, and come to the edge and move over one block. So now we'll go down 4 blocks from here. 2, 3, 4, and then take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to take out that block there. We're going to actually temporarily move this. And then we're going to come over here, and this is where we're going to put our collection chest. So double chest here, come inside, and as you know, you crouch to put a hopper into the back of the chest. Come over here and make sure it's working properly. So now we're going to put a couple glass block here. So come here, and first what I want to do is do that. And eventually, oh, it's almost nighttime. Oh, scary cow. Keep playing dangerous. I want a shovel when I don't have one, and I don't use it when I do. So eventually the plan could be to build a small overhang around this, you know, make it non-spawnable, but this will give us quick access to the chest. As an alternative access point, you could also just leave this as a trapdoor and a ladder to get down there. So now we'll come back down here and place a glass block above the chest. And that still allows the chest to open. If you put a solid block, the chest would not open. And then I like to put another glass block layer on top just to get a good view of the farm working. So we have the villager chamber done, we have the collection system installed, and we have our outer walls on the top of the farm up and looking good. So now what we're going to do real quick here is we're going to make ourselves a quick infinite water source and infinite water. So now we'll fill that, break this real quick. So from the front of the farm, we're going to put 3 blocks over here. 1, 2, 3. Before we put our water in, we are going to drop on the front wall, starting above this hopper, 1 block above the hopper. We are going to place 1 sign, place 2, 3, and 4. So 4 signs, and then move over 1 block, place 1 sign, crouch, 2, 3, move over 1, 2, and 10 sides. 4, 3, 2, 1. And it doesn't matter what style of wood, just your preference. So our lava is going to go on top of these signs. We're not going to do that right now because we don't want to risk bumping into the lava and getting a little bit cooked. Close this in and put a water bucket. And if we come over to second block, sort of like our infinite trench, we just have to go up top and refill once. And now we can slowly work our way over here. Refill this bucket one more time. Break this block, and we're going to drop this last water there. And you see the cobblestone goes straight for the hopper. Refill our bucket, and we are done with the water, so we can get rid of this water source over here. Replace our wall segment. And we'll come over here, and it's kind of hard to see now with the updated water. You want to make sure that the sides are all flowing straight, and then with that middle water, everything is going to go straight into the hopper. So when the iron golems spawn in here in the water, they'll be pushed over here. And now what we do is we come over here and take our lava, crouch so I don't fall in there, and the block right above the corner where the signs start, place the lava there, and it'll spread to the edge of the signs. So now when the iron golem spawns, he gets pushed into the edge of the lava, and that's how they are taken out. And that's it. The easy part is done. It just takes a little bit of work and a little bit gathering the resources, but all these years I've avoided doing it. But building the structure itself isn't the hard part. Getting the villagers over here, there's the challenge. So we'll get this out of here to keep especially that guy and his llamas from climbing up there and falling in there. So we're going to come in here and get our boat. And now for the hard part, getting the villagers over here. So to get ready for that, I'm going to open this up a little bit. We are going to make this just a little bit wider so we can get the villagers down here in the boat. So if we survive getting them this far, we can get them in the boat here. Bring them down here. Roll them right here. Once we get both of them in there, break the boat, and then that's that. Much easier said than done. So we're going to go up this way to scout out how we're going to get back. But I think I want to fill up that second bucket real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Almost forgot the bed. Oh, this is a nice little area. It's not far from the base. I don't think we've seen this before. Oh my gosh, we finally made it. But it really doesn't seem that bad. We're going to lock you guys in there while I get this guy. While I take you back. So, I need you to walk over here and get in this boat. Get in there. Okay, you guys are stuck in there. I'm going to break this. There we go. I knew you could do it on your own. Yeah. So let's get you out of here. Okay, no! I don't want to go that way. Oh my gosh. I want to go up. Oh my gosh. How am I going to do this? All right. Good, 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 good. Oh, And he did it. Look at that. As soon as we got him in here, he connected to one of the beds and he grabbed his new job. So we have one Fletcher down. That is great news. So my man, we're going to leave you in that boat, and I am going to close this up to make sure nothing can get in there. So we will have to make another boat, and it's back to the village. Hey, all right. Good job. Now I just need you to come back downstairs. Fine, get away from the wall. There we go. There we go. You're doing it. You're doing it. All right. There we go. Now you're going to get in this boat, please. Oh, you're so close. Get in the boat. There we go. Good job. It makes this so difficult on me. So close. Did you grab your bed? Come on, grab your bed. They're ready to breed. They can't do it while they're in the boats. So let's get this going. We'll just do that for now. Let me move this guy out of the way. Put that bed down. There we go. And they'll go ahead and breed. So now we have 2 Fletchers. They're breeding now. When that baby grows up, hopefully it'll take a job and we won't have to come in here to deal with it. What we don't want is them to give us nitwits, which don't take jobs. We need everybody in here to be able to claim a bed, to be able to connect to the fletching table, to have a job. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. Oh, do you hear that? So we're well on our way. 3 babies, they'll grow up. We'll have the glass to keep an eye on them to make sure we don't get any nitwits. If we do, we'll come back in here and deal with them. So we get a good look at them. You see me through the glass, don't you? So those 2 villagers will keep breeding until there are no more available beds to connect to. And the reason why we were hearing cats is because when you get a certain number of villagers, they can summon cats. So cats will start spawning in. The downside of doing this farm on the surface like this is that those cats will spawn outside of the chamber. That looks like Nameless Kitty. The downside of that is that we don't get the drops from the cats when they don't spawn in here because the lava does cook them and they would drop string. So we don't get that. But the upside is the cats don't spawn in there and get burned up by the lava. So it's a positive and a negative. And if we want another cat as a pet, then we can just come over here and take care of that. Let's come back down here real quick and see how it's going. Let's see what's it. 4, 6, 7, 8. Looks like 8 unless we got a couple hiding on that side. So 10. Sitting at about 10 right now. That's not too bad. And then once the iron golems start spawning, we can watch them get pushed here into the lava, burn up, and they will drop iron ingots and poppies, the red flowers that you can use for red dye. And there you have it. There's the iron farm. We did it. Oh no. Little kitty. And I think we're going to stop here. In between episodes, I'm going to go around and do a little bit of detailing, and we'll check it out in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed today's project. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.